I'm not going to use the targeted podcast Twitch feed yet. Facebook is
You should,
connecting.
man.
I mean, we haven't done any work to get that out.
On
So
Twitch?
yeah, on Twitch. Like I haven't done
Yeah.
any work to do any to get that out on Twitch, like at all. So it's like I don't like seeing the zero there, I guess. It's like no one's watching.
Now, I think
Um
what would be dope is since we both have Gran Turismo, right?
yeah,
We should try to do a streaming session.
yeah. I do wish I did more because I've been so kind of just weird with my like I was playing Horizon Forbidden West today. And I was thinking I wish I could do a streaming session on this right now because um I've already played through the game. So maybe like for like if they do a DLC, then maybe. But um
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I'll say that. Yeah. So okay, we are live.
What
Um
up?
yeah, what up? What up, everyone? Thank you guys for joining and watching. You know, I've had a couple people call me, just come my friends, just text me and ask me about my thoughts on the Batman, right? Which we had a podcast about. Um, it was a
You must
spoiler
not be paying
podcast.
attention. I don't know what's wrong with your friends. Talk about that. Not paying attention.
Well, they don't want to watch the podcast and get spoiled, right?
Okay, okay, okay. All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Right? Because they'll text me like, oh, I saw you did I saw you doing a podcast now and you talked about the Batman. And I was like, yeah. The Batman. So no, happy about that. Oh, he's still representing the Batman. Still. And still. Yeah. So, all right. I mean, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Targeted Podcast. I'm Sahi. That is Nicholas. We're just going to be talking about some random stuff today.
Random.
Like, just
Totally
off
off
the
the hip
top.
today.
Just off the top. I think texted Nicholas like early days, like, so what are we talking about today? So,
What was my response? Video games.
the video games. And I was like, well, I only played like Horizon Forbidden West. And you've been playing Gran Turismo. I have Gran Turismo. It came in last week. I haven't played it yet. I think I kind of want to just get to a stopping point with Horizon Forbidden West. Like I've gotten to like close to the end of it. So
What? Oh,
um,
God.
yeah. It's a lot of content. Well, I've been playing it for 2 weeks, right?
It would take me like at least if I was trying, it would
Yeah.
probably take me like 3 months.
Yeah. No, I mean the story is just so good. It's such a good story, man. Like
Fair, fair, fair.
there's like that's the thing that kind of like attracts me to that game. It's kind of a curse, right? Because it's like I kind of want to know what's happening next. It's kind of like when you binge watch a show, right? It's like I kind of want to know what's going on, right? But what's the next story? What's the next storyline? Or how's this character doing? Or how this character's doing? And that character's doing. And it's like it's so good, right? Like I got to a point and I've talked about this before. We don't see a lot of like um women-led like video games and movies, and usually when they are, they suck, right? But this is super good. So this has been a really good female head movie. I played Tomb Raider, The Rise of Tomb Raider a couple years ago. Great game.
Excellent game. Excellent game.
Great
Excellent game.
game, right? Well, I mean, again, female-led story, great game, right? And it just kind of gives you this context. Like I'm happy to see that kind of representation happen, and it'd be good, right? It's not
Yeah.
just someone checking off a box, but it's like they're doing the due diligence and like
You're right.
doing their work to make this a good like game, right? So
There's
um
another joint coming out soon too called I think it's called like Forspoken or something like that. I think it's a
yeah,
PlayStation exclusive.
yeah.
Um, that's another female led or where there's a female lead character coming out this year too. So we got some
Yeah.
joints coming out.
Yeah,
Got some
no,
joints
it's really,
coming out.
really good. So I'm excited for it. I'm happy to kind of just play this game. There is a sisterhood. So I think we talked about this before with when we reviewed what was it, Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah,
And like one of the highlights, like I thought it was um like you thought they
we
were
already
like
know. Yeah, we pretty much yeah.
but but I think one of the highlights moments of that movie was that sisterhood bond like that her and Rambo had, right? When she was kind of hyping her up, like when she was like feeling down and just kind of just had that bond there. They just had that in this game. Um, at that point, I was like, man, this is just that's just awesome, right? Like again, you don't really.
Okay.
I mean, I was like, I mean, me who watches Batman v Superman or Batman and like just like Avengers and all that stuff, you don't see those kind of moments very often, right?
Not very often.
So
I'll give you that
yeah,
for
so
sure.
it's good to kind of see that that happen. I will say this in this game too. So if you've played Horizon Zero Dawn, if you haven't, go play that
Go
ruling
do it.
game.
Drop what you're doing after
Um,
this podcast episode.
yeah, after this
Go for it.
podcast episode, go ahead and play Horizon Zero Dawn. I think they have a PlayStation 5 version as well. So that's if you have a PS5. But like in Horizon Zero Dawn, you're mainly like by yourself for the most part, right? And I think this one really talks about having allies and co-opting and kind of leading a team.
Okay.
So like that's the big thing about this one. Um like Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West takes away like right after Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm not trying to spoil any of it, but the main character has a lot to live up to, right? And she's just working hard and just doing her best, um, just trying her very best, right? And yeah,
Yeah.
they I don't want to spoil it as much, but it's just some things happen and it's like, man, this is crazy. So yeah, great game. Definitely go out and cop
Okay.
that grill.
I gotta get on that for sure. Oh, you went quiet, bro.
Come again?
Say something. Say something. Oh, there you are. All right.
Hello? All right.
You're back.
Yeah,
You're back.
yeah. Your default microphone changed. Okay, yeah. My microphone got a little weird. I think I moved something and whatever. Anyway, um, anyway, like I said, it's a great game. Definitely go cop it. Not gonna try to spoil it for anyone. Hey, what up, BK? BK's here.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and when are you gonna get on what BK on the podcast? What's going on? What's up? We supposed to have been talking. What's going on with you, BK? Yeah, yeah. Hold on, let me mute this thing. I'm trying to see us and then like respond to all the stuff. But yeah, no,
Oh, yeah. I guess I need to
it's
hop
been
on
what's
the
up,
channel.
huh?
Yeah. So that's no. I probably need to hop on the channel so I can respond to some people. That's what's up, man. I've been looking
Yeah,
for. Oh, well, I've heard nothing but good things about Horizon Zero, Forbidden West.
yeah,
I've heard, on one side, it's like everything that was in the first game is basically better, especially the combat as far as
mm,
like you, not you versus the robots, but you versus like other people when you're on foot or whatever.
yeah,
I'm hearing that's way better, like much
yeah. It
much improved.
is. It
So yeah,
is.
say okay.
And I still suck at that the melee combat system. So I still need to because there. I wish it was a little bit more hack and slashes type stuff. Um, because I would say it's a little bit more like Batman Arkham Knight, a little bit, or the Batman
Okay.
Arkham series, with this melee combat because it's with the Arkham series is about timing, right? Big time about timing,
Yeah.
right? Slash games, there's a little timing involved, but not really. You can really just press one button and to jump around and that be that. But this one is very big on timing. There are a lot of combos I just memorize that I just need to kind of be able to memorize and just be able to whip out when I need to. There is like there are melee pits where you can practice your melee fighting. So yeah, yeah, definitely cop that. But you've been playing Gran Turismo, and man, let me tell you, I have all Gran Turismos from Gran Turismo 3. I think I have Gran Turismo 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I don't have Gran Turismo Sport. I remember Gran Turismo, I think was it 6, where they had the what was it? The moon racing. Like you can race the rover on the moon. Which I thought was
There was a
great.
Gran Turismo game where you're racing on the
No, there's in Gran Turismo 6, the last one, you can race the moon rover. Well, not race, but you can like just ride on the moon, right?
moon.
I guess you didn't realize that. Okay. It was
Yeah, I
all it
did
was,
not know that at all.
yeah, no, there's a moon part of it. It was Gran Turismo 6, right? They didn't have that in Gran Turismo Sport. So yeah. But no, tell me about Gran Turismo 7.
No, so it's addictive, man. For one, like
Yeah.
once I started playing, I pretty much stopped playing everything else, and just started playing this game. Like the graphics are amazing. Um, Collecting the cars is like super fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the only one thing that I don't like or that I was disappointed in is like the damage system. Like when you run into people, you don't really see any damage
Uh,
to any of the cars or whatever.
can you turn that on?
So
I know in the other games you can turn it on. Or like
I haven't
fix
really I haven't really dived into the options menu to like check everything yet.
okay.
So maybe you can. But from what I read, I don't think it's. I don't even think it's. I don't even think it's on there. So
Okay.
that's the only thing that I'm kind of really disappointed about. But I mean, if you're talking about like the actual driving mechanics of the game and the way the controller like
Mm,
responds to how you drive, it's amazing, man. Like
yeah.
what they've done with that controller, um,
Yeah.
there's nothing like it. There's nothing else like it. So I mean, when you're driving and let's say like you hop off the track for whatever reason, like I do, I'm a horrible driver, right? You can feel the feedback in the controller,
Yeah.
like you know what I mean. Like it's something that it just does rumbles a certain way or whatever. Like if it's
Yeah.
grass, if it's rainy outside, or if there's some inclement weather, you know it when you
Wow.
run over a puddle or something. Like yeah, it's really sensitive, man.
That's crazy. I do
Yeah,
want to
man.
add to in Horizon Forbidden West, you do the same thing, right? With whenever you're
Like
the
with the bow
character
and
in
arrow,
the
right?
huh?
Like with the bow and arrow, because it's
Well,
like when
not
you
just the bow and
squeeze it.
arrow. Yeah, but not with the bow and arrow, but when you're like moving in the grass, you can feel the feedback of her like going through the grass. Um
Oh wow.
uh yeah, so you can actually feel that feedback. So yeah, I'm actually pretty happy about that. Do you use the controller as like this way, like as a steering wheel? Because I know you told me that you could, right?
You
Yeah, I
can.
don't think I can.
I
So
opted out of that.
yeah, I don't see myself
I want
doing
to
that to be
try it,
honest.
but I was like, I'm just trying to learn how to actually like drive and actually like compete. So I was like, I might as well play the way that I'm actually going to play for a while. But I might go back and try it just to see, what it's all about. But they definitely, I mean, they have different options for however you drive. So I mean, yeah, if you want to use like the 6-axis controls, the motion controls, and use the controller itself as a steering wheel, you can do that. And then as you go to brake or accelerate, like you can feel the feedback in the trigger buttons. I mean, they did a really good job. They did a really good job.
Does it change when because you know how in the games like your tires wear, right?
Yeah.
So do you feel a difference or not really? I
Uh, Listen, I've only played like I've been playing it, but it's like I've gotten like my B and A licenses, and I
yeah.
did a few circuits, so I haven't really had a reason to go through tires just yet. I haven't even have I bought some? I bought like one new set of tires so far.
Okay.
So I mean, I don't know yet. Jury's still on that. I think the only real thing that other than the damage is the music. They gotta
Uh
hopefully they come out with some with some better music. I'm sure there's an update or something coming soon. But
Yeah,
right now,
yeah,
that
the
driving
music's really
soundtrack.
good. Okay, that's bad. I wish you can add. Can you add your own songs to it?
Not that I've seen. Not that I've
Okay.
seen.
Because what I would do is I would just add the old like Gran Turismo songs
I mean,
quickly.
I would just have the Spotify app going, right? Like just play
Yeah.
whatever I want to play. But I will say, if you have a pair of the Sony gaming headphones,
Mhm.
definitely use that because they have the 3D audio enabled, so you can really get a sense of like where the cars are in
Mm.
relation to you if you have the headphones on. So that's been really something dope to experience too. Like you can tell when somebody's about to come up on you. Yeah.
That's nice, man. No, thanks, man. So no, I can't wait to play that. I'll probably play that honestly next month, latest for sure. Like I'm pretty sure I think I'm about to beat Horizon Forbidden West maybe next weekend.
Good
Um,
grief.
so I mean, I think I could have beaten today to be honest with you, but I wanted to kind of. I think I just maxed out my character because I think 50 is the highest level you can go. So I got my character to reach level 50.
I feel like that was the same thing in the last game, right?
I think the last game the max was 60. Um, and what happens is like after 60, you can still keep maxing out. Like you can still keep leveling up, but like you don't really get any stat increases.
Okay.
Like the last game I played it for so long. I think my character's like level 110 or whatever. In Horizon Forbidden West. But like I mean I don't get like extra stats, but this one is level 50. I don't see myself going higher than that. Um, I would like to take some time and like I haven't done like Horizon Forbidden Dawn. Like there are a lot of like hunting grounds, which I haven't done any of those.
Okay.
Like in this game. I plan on doing those. There's also a battle arena that you can unlock
That
where
way you play other people?
no, you have to fight other monsters. It's like a challenge. It's like a
Oh,
second
okay.
it's like a second thing of that. So a lot of strong, like I said, a lot of strong female characters, a lot of black characters too, right? A strong presence there. Like I said, the Ageless Wonder, um, Angela
Angela
Bassett,
Bassett.
yeah, was one of the main bad guys. If I had to criticize the game a little bit, I'll say I wish I saw a little more of her, right? Um, but yeah, a lot of just black representation, a lot of just diverse representation, which
That's good.
in that game
That's
too,
good.
which yeah, which is what it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Well, in addition to Theft Auto, Gran Turismo 7, man, I'm still playing Seafood.
Ah,
But it's still I'm talking about it on the podcast a little bit from time to time, but that is probably like the hardest game I'm playing right now. Like that,
yeah,
it is. It's back in the day, like when we used to play like Streets of Rage or like Final Fight, right? It's kind of just walk through those beat 'em up games,
yeah,
and you just button mash to get through all your people.
yeah,
Think of a game like that, but if you're a button masher, you're gonna die,
yeah.
right? Like it's really about learning like the martial arts in the game and the fighting system in the game. And right now, like I just finally made it to level 3. Right? Like, I think there's like 5 or 6 areas, but um, getting past the club area has been like really challenging for me, man. I don't know if anybody else has been playing that game, but that's a really dope game, man. And they have like the mechanic of like every time you die, you get older and stronger, but then your health is reduced by a little bit at a time.
Oh,
So,
is there a way for you to go back?
was that?
Is there a way for you to go back? So let's say if I die like 5 times and I end up being 50, right? Is there a way I can go back to being 40, being weaker,
Yeah,
but
no, you can replay the levels like as often as you need because you're gonna want to replay the levels so you can save the game at an age that helps you get through like the later levels. So when I first started, I finished the first level probably at like 40 something. right? And then when I got to the club level, dead.
Old man. Old.
so, so now I replayed the first level again, got through that at the age of 24,
Ooh,
right?
okay.
But now I get through the club level, I'm like 53. So, so I got
So
some work to do.
kids, that's what clubs do to you. They age you.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to live that club life for too long, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Tell me about it.
It'll put some
If
years
I'm
on
in
you.
a club at that age, I'm a VIP. So
I hope so. Because hopefully at that time you have a job of some sort that pays well. But yeah, if you're working at the gas station, you might not want to be in the club if you have to. That's all I'm saying. Priorities. Priorities.
truth. Truth. Very, very true. Yeah, no,
Oh
I may
man.
play that. Like I probably won't play that. Like I have a backlog of games, so I still need to get to Gran Turismo. Uh, I have Deathloop that I probably won't even play till much later this year because I'm gonna try to play the hell out of Horizon Forbidden West. Until I get like a stopping point, like where I'm not gonna try to get the platinum trophy. Like I'll probably people because I'll probably like play it for a little bit and then stop and then get back and playing it again. I may like try to beat on Noob Game Plus mode and just play it and just kind of back and forth playing it back and forth like that.
Yeah.
And
Still
like
gotta play Guardians of the Galaxy. That's
yeah,
still on my backlog too.
yeah. I think I told
So
you I got the trophy for Horizon Forbidden Dawn this year, like the platinum trophy, like this year, like a couple months ago. Like I said, because I've been playing it for years, right? Just screwing around. I'm like, oh shit, I can get the platinum trophy. So I'm like, let me just try
should
it.
have went back and played it because the kids love watching me play that game. Play the
Horizon
robot game, Daddy. So
what?
I said the kids love watching me play that game. I should go back and try to get it because that'll
Horizon Forbidden Dawn?
actually, yeah, they love
Yeah,
that game.
yeah. It's doable. It's definitely doable. I definitely had to do like get some YouTube advice on how to get some of the
Oh,
stuff because this
I
is
do
hard
that
as
all the
shit.
time. No shame in
Yeah,
my game. I do that all the time.
yeah. I did a little bit for this game too, like for some of like the vector, like visual, like stuff, whatever, because I don't feel like searching forever for some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So yeah, definitely. I will probably try to pick up Sifu. I don't know when I'll be able to play it.
Yeah.
Um,
You can probably wait till it's like on sale for like $20 or so. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Okay. Okay.
But yeah. Hold on one second, man. I gotta go do something. Hold on.
Oh, okay. This is awkward. I'm by myself. Do, 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 do. Let's see.
All right.
Oh, he's back. I was about to say, like, this is when you go watch a replay, you're gonna see me say, "This is awkward." Hi, everybody.
Well, now you know how I feel every time your camera mic comes out.
Oh, 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 when it hurts. Okay.
Every time we go through 3 minutes of, can you hear me now?
That's usually at the beginning of the streams, right?
Is
All right.
it?
Fuck you. All right. What's the next thing that we want to talk about? We playing some video games. I sent you this little thing. I do want to talk about NBA right quick and March Madness and all this stuff going on. I sent you a little link about like Pete Davidson and Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. And now here's the thing. I normally don't keep up with anything at all what Kim Kardashian does and Kanye and all this stuff.
I try not to
Was,
keep it up with any of the celebrity news. To be real,
yeah,
like, stuff.
I
They're
mean,
people. They do stupid stuff,
I
everybody
mean,
knows.
I'm
Right?
not in the celebrity news. I feel like people who like keep up with that kind of stuff, it's like you're losing brain cells. But it's kind of hard to not keep up with this. um, and like it's on some of my news feeds and whatnot. And
Well,
um,
especially since Kanye came out with that video where he
oh my
he was talking
god.
about Pete Davidson, right?
Yeah, he's talking about beating up Pete Davids, right? He's talking about and then in the video he actually like cuts off his head and like puts like flowers on it, whatever. And then the end of the video is like, just kidding, he's fine. I'm like, what? It's like when someone like it's like someone like makes like a big like says something offensive and be like, just kidding. I'm like, but were you though? Like it's a lot to be just kidding about. So yeah, he also talked about himself dying too, Kanye. So as you
Yeah,
know, Kanye West is bipolar, right?
yeah,
Um, interesting about Pete Davids is that he's also gone through his like mental health issues as well. I don't know if he's bipolar per se, but his mental health issues has kind of been he has talked about in the past, right? And interesting fact about him, like if you keep up with him or not, his father passed away in the 9/11 towers, right? So his father was in the 9/11 towers when they hit, right? So that's when his father passed away. So needless to say, he's had his struggles and whatnot. Um, and so I sent you like this article which showed like an exchange with with him and Kanye via text message, right? And apparently a comedian like kind of shared it because I don't think Pete Davis did. Again, I don't keep up with any of the stuff. But one of the things I found fascinating was that um Pete Davis was texting Kanye to kind of to stop talking shit about him, and then he goes, and Kanye asked him, "Well, where are you at right now?" And Pete Davis is like, "I'm in bed with your wife." I was like,
wow.
Jesus Christ, right? I just realized the article that I sent you doesn't like show like the whole like text message um shots. Well, there's like a link to it that does that though. But the stuff goes on, right? And talks about how um Pete Davis struggles with mental health, right? So Kanye made a like a jeering comment to say, happy to see you're out of rehab. And then Pete Davis was like, yeah, same here. Um, it's wonders what those places do when you go get help. You should try it,
Right.
right? You know, I'm in LA for a day. If you want to stop being a little internet bitch boy and talk, right? And they just go back and forth, right? And then Kanye responds with like, if you want to see me at Sunday service, right? Which is like, that's just random. Like, how is it? How do you go to Sunday service and listen to like a pastor's sermon and then still get inspired to make a video killing someone, right? As a joke. It's fascinating to me. But I did want to talk a little bit more about it because mental health is a thing, right? Like it's something
For
that you
sure.
gotta like. We all work from home. My current job, I do a lot. There's like a lot of just do this and do this and do this and do this, right? And it's like you just constantly just you just mentally just stretched, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I was actually working a little bit like right before the call. I mean, before this podcast, and what was interesting was that I was actually enjoying it. Like, I suck at like diagrams and like draw IO and all that stuff, but like just all the pictograms and whatnot. But like I was enjoying it because I was kind of figuring things out. I wasn't under the gun. I wasn't pressured. I was listening to some jazz music, just kind of just singing along and just kind of figuring things out. It was just so relaxing, right? And it's sad that
Right.
you don't really get that like when in the office because it's like usually ping this, and someone's always just there's always a
In your
deadline.
face
Someone's
about
always
something. Yeah.
yeah, it's always that like someone's freaking out about something when you don't need to be and like whatever. So um yeah, I just wanted to talk about that for because of mental health because I've definitely been feeling the strain recently, right? Like I
Yeah.
haven't even done the fitness stuff that I have had this week. because of the mental, like my mind's just not there. My mind's just not there, right? So hopefully my mind will be a little bit better next week, right? I am switching teams, so we'll see how that works.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a different time, right? You remember back, you know, before the pandemic and everything, like you went to the office and you could pretty much cut off work when you
Mhm.
leave, right?
Yeah,
Like once you were off work, you were off work. Working remotely is different. Working from home is different because you can get a call at any time, right?
yeah,
People feel like they can reach out to you at any time.
yeah,
Um, because you're home. You work from home now. All you gotta do is log
yeah,
in and handle whatever they need you to handle,
yeah,
right? Something happens, you don't have to run into the office. You don't have to wait until the next day. You
yeah.
can just do the work. You're pretty much all you could pretty much be on around the clock, right?
Hmm.
Um, and that's one thing that I've been struggling with lately too. Like, I mean, I work pretty much remote right now, and it's like you when you have a deadline, you just end up working late at night to try to get it right. Instead of working in the office, you might work till like 6. Like, oh, I had to work late. Oh my god, I had to work till
Yeah,
6 o'clock. Now I'm like, yeah, I was up till like 12:30 last night doing this work. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's not even just like, oh, it was like that one day. Like, it's just like, I'm really like trying to get through all this work because I'd like to have a weekend,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Um, so
yeah,
and it starts to grind on you a little bit, right? Because you
yeah,
feel like you can't get away. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Um,
Uh, what's so funny is that I had some deliverables due like actually end of last sprint that I had to carry over this sprint that I was planning on getting done Friday, and I hadn't even looked at it till like that Friday morning, Thursday evening, right? Thursday afternoon, just 'cause I'm just so trying to help everyone else and just get things going, whatever. And I think Thursday we were up to like 11 doing a release because we didn't plan properly.
yeah,
Um, so Dinity, so that's one of the things that kind of just told the team was like, yeah, we need to just be smart about planning and strategizing, just making sure that these things go as quickly as possible, right? Um, so yeah, hopefully like that will like kind of clean up. I think for me, yeah, I'll get pings like random. I have it turned off, so like this is my workstation. You make fun of me all the time, but this is I'm in my bedroom, right? Um, so
of course.
I have I actually had to turn off like have my Slack turn off at like 5:30 or I think 6 actually, right? So at 6 it just automatically shuts off, right? Like where well it doesn't shut off, but rather it mutes all notifications. So if I get a notification at like 6, right?
Yeah.
Um I don't hear it, right? And that's kind of helping me a little bit with my sanity. Another thing though is that like when I'm in the middle of like kind of the problem solving process, it's like it just kind of weighs in your mind, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, how do you figure that out? So I heard this fact, you gotta do that, right? And it's tough. It's really really tough, right? Um, and like what's interesting is that like today, like I was just kind of like listening to jazz music, just kind of just mellowing out and just kind of just getting some work done. So yeah, it's been interesting.
Yep.
To to say the least. So, but yeah, like that whole Pete Davidson Kanye West thing. Like, and there's so many other stories, right? Have you heard about Delonte West in NBA? Right, it's how he had his
Oh man,
struggles with mental health,
just
and
sad. Yeah, yeah,
it's a very sad story, right? Um, like Mark Cuban like went to go help him, and he was doing well. I think he kind of relapsed again. And if you're going through problems like that, it's your responsibility to kind of get help, right? Especially if you have the
sure.
resources to do so, right? To get the help that you need, right? I think a lot of people kind of talk about mental health, but don't really do much to kind of resolve those problems. And I think for me, I do my best to kind of again play music, take some time off. It's hard. It's really really hard. Uh, because you always feel like you're just trying to. You don't want to let people down. You just want to just just be successful and whatnot. With what you, I mean, you're in the rat race, right? So you're just trying to always achieve for more, achieve for more, achieve for more. But it's important to kind of just take care of yourself, and you're accountable for doing that. So yeah, that's just my thing on that. And that's kind of what that I got from that. But after seeing that kind of pretty funny notification about Pete Davidson mocking Kanye West, but also telling him he needs to get help, right? Because he gets help because he's had
I
problems too,
agree.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he needs to. Hopefully, he's seeing somebody getting some sort of help, man.
Oh, he's
Because
not. If you heard him in the new song, he's just like fuck like the psychologist or whatever, right? Um, like in his latest
I
song that
mean,
like the
just
game and
because he
whatnot.
says that in the song, though, I feel like I don't know what it is about those Kardashian women, man. Like every time whoever it is that they're dating, like they go crazy. I don't know what it is.
Well, maybe
You
this
got
interested in this kind of
you got
guy. So,
you got Chloe and Tristan Thompson, right? That guy, you know, he
so
just
you're saying it's Chloe's
ran
fault
off
or is it
like
Tristan's fault?
I think it was this is obviously more Tristan's fault than anything, right?
Yeah,
But you have Lamar Odom that was dating
yeah.
Chloe for a while, right? He relapsed and did whatever he was doing. You had Kim is just like you had her and Ray J, you had her and was it Krista, was it Humphreys
Chris
or
Humphreys.
whatever? They were
Chris
married
Humphreys
for what,
was
like 60
like,
days?
yeah. Well, Chris Humphreys was, yeah, but 60 days, like a couple of days, like was even less than that. I think probably a day. Um, I will say this: Devin Booker is out with I think Caitlyn Jenner, or is it Caitlyn Jenner, or is that's Bruce former Bruce Jenner? I'm sorry, wrong Jenner. Um, like one of the
I don't know the names.
Kardashians. I don't remember the names. Courtney Kardashian. I don't know. One of them. I know Devin Booker is dating one of them, and he seems like the Phoenix Suns are killing it right now.
Yeah,
Like he made it to the finals last year. We love making fun of like the Kardashian curse, like any athlete that's dating the Kardashians, like they like fuck
go
up and they
crazy.
play as whatever, right? But he is killing it right now. And I think that's a good segue to talk about basketball. because
There you go.
because yeah, like Phoenix Suns are just putting in work right now. Um, Also huge drama. We talked about mental health earlier. So 76ers, Brooklyn Nets played a couple of days ago, right?
So first off, who do you think won the trade? Right. So the
Honestly,
Nets trade James
I
Harden
think
to the 76ers. The 76ers traded like I believe Seth Curry and a couple other guys and some draft picks. I mean, they got a lot. The Nets got a lot back.
yeah.
And I just felt like I've been feeling like on paper the Nets should be destroying everybody, right? But there's a whole bunch
But
of
they
little wrinkles to their
yeah.
situation. You have Kyrie who doesn't want to be vaccinated, then you have the mandate so that, if because he's not vaccinated, he can only play home games. And you had him up in the stands the other night. It was just funny because it was like he can't play, yet he's up in the stands. He can be up in the stands maskless watching the game.
Let
So
me
you have
let
LeBron
me yeah.
James pointing out the hypocrisy in that, right? Like,
Oh, let me even go even further too. Like he can't play in home games, right? But unvaccinated players can go to Brooklyn and play, right? Which makes no look. I'm pro vaccine mandates. I'm pro mask. I mean, see my freaking shirt right
this
here.
channel
Um,
pro vaccine.
yeah, like, yeah, absolutely. But the law makes no sense. It's just dumb, right? And it's
I'm good.
like your goal is to minimize like risk, right? And how are you doing that by allowing him to be in the arena, no mask, no vaccine, right? And then allow
Well,
other
that just
players to
shows
come
you
play.
that anybody that just shows you anybody can be in the arena watching the game,
Yeah.
vaccinated or not, masked up or not. Like it's not even just about him. There's something to be said about the fact that like okay, so you if you're not vaccinated, you can't play. But
Yeah,
if I'm just someone who's a spectator, who cares?
yeah,
That's pretty much what that says to me, right? Like they don't care about the general masses, right?
yeah,
It's, the players pushing this, the league pushing this product on the fans, but after
yeah,
fans,
yeah.
right?
And I what no annoys me about this rule too is that it's kind of making him like a mourner, like and he shouldn't be.
You mean
Right?
a martyr?
A martyr. Yeah, I said a martyr. A martyr. Like he's making himself a martyr, and he definitely shouldn't be, right? Like the guy just believes in just crazy, stupid conspiracy theories, and it's all fun and games. So people start charging the Capitol, right? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
I mean, we're seeing a war being waged right now based off conspiracy theories, right? Like Vladimir Putin is saying like Ukraine is like enabling Nazis, right? And that's what he's telling his troops to like encourage them to like fight this war, right? They actually
yeah.
a little off topic here. Read an article recently about like German troops shooting some civilians because they thought they were Nazis, right? Or their Nazis were shooting at them. So it just kind of it shows how dangerous it can be, right? So back to basketball though. Um, yeah, it's hard. The Nets won the trade, right? Like even though
Yeah.
it doesn't seem like they did, right? Because Ben Simmons is just not there, like mentally, right? He's had his mental health problems.
Well,
Kyrie,
not in Philly anyway. I don't know.
well, which is interesting because he came to Philly. Like that's crazy that he chose decided not to play, lost a lot of money not playing, and like cited mental health and still showed up to Philly. Philly tickets is apparently like the highest I've ever been.
Yeah.
Um, just so they can mock him, and they stopped mocking him after the third quarter because he blew him out.
Well,
KD
the
went
team
off.
blew him out. I don't even think he did. He even play that
He
night.
didn't
I don't
play. He
think he
didn't
played.
play. He didn't
Yeah.
play. Yeah, KD blew him out. Right.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, it's funny. Like the Nets will be probably they're probably not the best coach. Like Steve Nash isn't like known as a great
He's a rookie
coach.
coach.
He's a rookie
Rookie.
coach. Well, he's a second year, but it's not like he had like a whole bunch of experience with this. Um, and it's like if they're dialed in, they're scary good, right?
Exactly.
They're scary
Exactly.
good, right? If they're just dialed in,
They're down
right?
in if all their guys can actually
Yeah,
play, a la
like
Kyrie.
yeah, like Ben Simmons, like is scared to take a shot, but he doesn't have to take a shot when he has Kyrie and,
Yeah, I mean
and
that's be
Kyrie and
the
KD on his
facilitator.
team. Like, what's the point, right? He doesn't need to dunk on somebody if they're like if he's like 5'11" and he's 6'10. I'm referring to the playoffs last year. You got to dunk on the guy. Um, but
Yeah.
outside of that, you don't need to take shots. Like when you have like those guys, just play some defense and pass the ball, and you'll be fine. So
I want
yeah,
to see him play. I want to see I want to see the chemistry with the team. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
then you have Harden, who started off hot
yeah.
with the 76ers, right? Then in Brooklyn, he goes 3 for 17,
Mm-hmm.
11 points.
They played some defense on him. They beat him up. They beat him.
Kyrie was the D'ing him up most of the game,
Yeah.
right? Primary defender, shouting out like, "I got him! I got him! I got him!"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
So
what's
it's
up.
like then you
They
bring
they
up the
had beef
old the
between
old
the two.
argument about
There are beef between the two.
Harden.
Yeah.
Was that?
They had beef between the two, Kyrie and Harden.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
but
don't blame Harden, right? He's trying to win a championship, but at the same time, he parties a lot too. Like
I
he
mean,
parties.
I kind of do blame him because he each time the situation has gotten difficult, like he's kind of it looks like he's kind of cutting the run. I mean, I'm on the outside
Yeah.
looking in, obviously, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he leaves Oklahoma, goes to the Rockets, plays for the
Well,
Rockets
Oklahoma
for
Oklahoma lets him go because they couldn't afford him, right?
okay.
Yeah,
So
so he didn't
gets to
force
the
that.
Rockets.
Yeah,
He can't seem to get past Golden State. Finds a way out of there. Goes to the
yeah,
Nets. Things happen with the Nets with between the pandemic, Kyrie, Durant getting hurt.
mm-hmm.
He finds a way out of there.
He was
went to
hurt
the
too, though.
76ers.
He's
You know what I
he
mean?
was hurt
Yeah.
too.
So it just seems like, between injuries and just fate and him struggling in some of these bigger games. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think it's gonna happen. I don't see a chip in this guy's future.
yeah. I will say, like when he was with Houston, I mean, he played with Chris Paul. Um,
That was his
right?
best chance. That
That
was their
was his
best chance.
best chance. Like Chris Paul got hurt, and they were up 3-2 in the Warriors, right? They had Game 7 in Houston, and they
Yeah.
missed like 27 threes. Um, but at the same time, he actually had beef with Chris Paul, right? So Chris Paul got switched between him and Russell Westbrook, and that situation got worse. We're gonna talk about Russell
Yeah.
Westbrook in a second. Um, and yeah, it's sad because at the same time, I also read an article about how he would stay up all night because he's good friends with Lil Baby, and I think I forgot another rapper. That whenever they're in town in Houston, like he like just goes and sees what they're doing, right? And listens to them make music, right? And then like they'll stay up to like what 4 in the morning, and then he'll go to practice like 7 a.m. Right? And that's like that's not trying to you're not trying to win a chip that way, right? And it's amazing how good he would be if he was dialed in, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's a great
Um,
shooter.
he's a great player,
He's a
right?
great, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
If he was more dialed in, right? The way he plays now with like kind of the drawing, well, he doesn't draw as much fouls. Was very different to when he first like came into Houston, right?
right.
And it's like again, if he's just more dialed in, this guy is good. He's really good, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
He's a prolific
um,
player. Yeah.
like if he had at least half the work ethic as Kobe, right? Like,
It's funny you should mention Kobe because I was just watching, how you scroll through YouTube every once in a
mhm,
while or whatever, right? See something on YouTube talking about Kobe was talking about like, yeah, uh, guys we will want to go out and party. I'll go with you. We'll
mhm,
go. You know, and he's like that next morning, I'm knocking on your door at 5 a.m. Like you went and party. Now it's time to go to the gym with me.
mhm,
Like that's what we were doing, you know what I'm saying? And then he was
yeah,
like, after a while, guys weren't really trying to go out.
yeah,
Because it's like if Kobe's there, he's gonna be knocking at my door at the crack of dawn the next day. But he was like, now you see what it takes to maintain this level of play. Like you can't just be out here partying and bullshitting or whatever. You know what I mean? You gotta put in the work. So
yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, let's talk about his former teammate, Russell Westbrook. Um,
I don't
he
know what happened to this
actually,
dude.
he actually, fans could be like ruthless because he used to have his fans come to the theater. I mean, the theater to the arena, right? And he stopped that now because fans just kept mocking him because of like calling him Russell Westbrook, right?
Skip
Um,
Bayless. You can
yeah,
do it. You can thank
Russell
Skip
Westbrook.
Bayless for that.
I mean, I will say this too. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like we did the same thing with Paul George, right? With Pandemic P, right? Because he called himself Playoff P, and he just played horribly in the playoffs for a little bit. All he and then called him Pandemic P. He actually redeemed himself a little bit last year in the playoffs. Like when Kawhi Leonard went down.
Yeah.
So which by the way, I don't think Kawhi Leonard has played this year at all.
It
Which
doesn't
is
seem like I haven't heard anybody
yeah, he
talking
hasn't
about
played
Kawhi.
this year at all, I don't think. And it's like I feel sorry for like the Clippers and the Clippers owner because he hasn't played. Paul George barely plays, and it's like, not winning a chip that way.
It's funny.
So
Like I think about the fact that they haven't really played, and I think about that clip of him laughing. It's like he kind of got
yeah.
over.
What was interesting about those guys is that they were actually in the Super Bowl. Like they actually went to the Super Bowl together. Kawhi and
Boys,
Paul
yeah, they're
George.
boys.
So I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, I mean the Super Bowl's in LA, but still like they're at the Super Bowl, but they can't play. So like it's unfortunate. It's truly
yeah.
unfortunate. But back to Russell Westbrook. I won't call him Westbrook, but
I'm not gonna do
like I think he's got, huh? I didn't hear
that. I
you.
said I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I think he's really gotten exposed because he's an athlete. I think people really appreciate his scrappy play when he was in OKC, right?
Yeah,
Because when KD and Harden was gone, he was by himself essentially, right? It was him and Steve Adams, right? They appreciate
yeah,
his scrappy play as well in when he was in DC, right? But you kind of see him now, and there's kind of now an expectation to win, right? Versus just playing hard and making to the playoffs and like losing the second round or first round,
well,
right?
he was doing good on the Wizards. He had the
Yeah, like I
Wizards looking
said,
pretty
he
decent.
drug them to the playoffs. He drug them to the playoffs, right?
Yeah,
I guess, like I said, they appreciated his scrappy play. They didn't expect them to go far, and they didn't, right? But when you see when he gets in that place where he's expected to do well, like they tend not to, right? They tend to underachieve, right? When it
right.
was him and Paul George in OKC, they lost to the Blazers in 5, right? Remember that iconic Damian Lillard busts a three in his face and goes like this, right? Like, right. And that shot right there ended the OKC. Because right after
Yeah,
that shot, they both like left, right?
yeah,
He went
that's
to
true.
Houston, Paul George. Actually, Paul George forced himself to go to LA, the Clippers, and he forced himself I think Sam Presti traded him what's his name? Westbrook for Chris Paul. And Chris Paul actually elevated that team. Like they actually almost beat
He did.
Houston.
He did.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
and it
point
kind of
guard.
shows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
much respect to Chris
kind of
Paul.
shows, right? There's a way of playing smart and elevating your team, and he's just out there running and hustling, right? And that's kind of his problem right now. Um, a lot of people kind of give him crap for shooting badly. Uh, he's not going to improve shooting in the season. He's not going to get good at it. I will say this: his
Well,
problem
I
with
think people are
Washington.
trying to understand what happened. Like, dude was,
Well, I'll
it's
tell you what's
like
going
now all of a
on with
sudden the
it.
guy can't make a shot at all.
Well, I'll tell you this: part of it's in his head, like that's for sure. But even if he can't make a shot, right? Part of his problem, right, is that he plays too much. Like he plays boneheaded, right? Like I mean, I think if he's when he's by himself in like OKC and DC, right, he was out there just running and gunning and right, just doing everything he can. Now you have an expectation to win with LeBron James, right? One of the great players, and like what I see, right, regardless of like the bad shooting, but like he doesn't play great defense, right? That's one thing. He makes a lot of boneheaded plays. Like he'll like drive in and take like a triple team and not even like pass the ball out, right? I
Yeah,
remember actually I saw him in the Christmas game, right? It was Brooklyn versus Lakers, right? And they didn't have KD, they didn't have Kyrie. James Harden just came back from like the COVID protocol, and the like, and I was watching him play closely, and Brooklyn was smashing them. They were beating the shit out of freaking LA, right? Um,
yeah,
and and what happens was that he went to the bench, right? And I remember because Patty Mills was like having a game. He had a hell of a game too. He went to the bench in the third quarter. Patty Mills went to the bench, right? And the Lakers came back, started coming back. They started playing really good defense, right? And they started hitting shots.
yeah,
They playing good defense. Then what happened? Patty Mills came back in. Then he came back in, right? Um, and they lost, right? Patty Mills was having a game, and Patty Mills like hits like one of the game clinching like game like shots, and like that's your man, that is your guy, right? He's having a game, you need to shut him down, right? You're an
yeah,
athlete, you're an athlete. If you can get triple doubles like there's no tomorrow, it just shows how much of an athlete you are, right? You need to use
yeah,
athletic ability to shut people down. So for me, it's not about him shooting well. It's about like playing defense. Stop turning the ball over. He's fourth in the league in turnovers. Fourth, right? You don't
Yeah.
shoot the ball well enough to turn the ball over that much. I'm sorry, you just don't, right? Like he makes a lot of fouls, right? So he just has to play smart. And he's obviously not gonna be in LA after this year, right? They're seriously regretting
Yeah.
that decision. You know where I think he would do well in? Actually, the Clippers. I actually think he'll do well with the Clippers.
I don't
I
know.
mean, well, think about it. Kawhi never plays, right? Like at least he'll out. I mean, he'll out there and give an effort. He won't play defense, but he'll give you 100% effort, right? So
Sure.
that's my thing. So yeah, I was talking a lot about that, but yeah, what are your thoughts?
Might be time for that guy to retire.
What? He's like
He's playing
33.
horrible. I mean, you don't have it no more, dog.
No,
Let's just be honest. You don't
look,
have it
he
anymore.
he can play. He has to play his way,
I
right?
think
He's
it
not
was
doing
like,
things.
that's you're making excuses. I don't want to hear like he has to play his way in a special way, blah blah blah.
He has to.
No, fam.
He has to.
I don't know. I think it just might be. I mean, you can't even make shots anymore. Like
Yeah, I think he
three.
can. If
What was the line that I just read? Was he 3 for 11? I said.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's horrible.
I think he can if he's not in LA. Like say if he's like on a small market team, like I don't know,
Sacramento.
New Orleans, Sacramento, New Orleans, right? Pacers, um, like somewhere where he's not kind of required to like do well, and he'll probably start shooting better. So I bet you Ben Simmons will be a better player too because he's just not like Philly's just a different fan base. Like, seriously,
I mean, I think Ben
we love other
Simmons,
people.
if he can get out of his own head, I think the trade to the Nets would be very beneficial for him because
Yeah,
he doesn't. You're playing with guys who want the ball, right? You're playing with Kevin Durant, who's a prolific scorer. You're playing with a Kyrie Irving, prolific scorer. You know what I mean? If you can come in there and be the defender that they need you to be,
yeah,
and the facilitator that they need you to be, right? Because remember, this is the guy. He's what 16. He plays
yeah,
point guard, right? Like
yeah,
so. If you can do those things, not worry about scoring the ball as much. You have guys who can do that for you.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, with Westbrook, I just might be time to call him.
I don't think so.
I mean, I don't know if there's any. I don't know if there's any solving that, right? Because you're out here. You know, I watched some of the highlights. You watch some of the games. I mean, like you said, this dude like rolls up into like double and triple teams, tries to kick the ball out to God knows who, God knows where, and ends up
Yeah.
turning the ball over, right? So, you know, might be time to let it go.
I don't think it's time to go. I'm gonna respectfully disagree with that. I think you can change your play if you work hard enough, right? You can change the way you play, and you just have to work hard
I
enough.
think you are who you are,
Yeah,
right? I think you are who you are. Just like they want Ben Simmons to work on his shooting and get it and become a shooter and shoot the three because that's what the game dictates. That's not who he is.
well,
He's a
that's
defender.
true. That's
He's
true.
he's a facilitator. I feel like as long as he's playing with guys who can score the ball, like a Durant and a Kyrie, I think he'll end up being in a much better position, potentially anyway, than he was when he was with the 76ers. I think, the 76ers had Joel Embiid, who's a great, great, great player, right?
MVP this year,
But
actually.
yeah, I'm sure I think he's the leading vote getter so far or whatever.
Yeah, he's the leading candidate.
And then, they have who else did they have? Tobias Harris, and I think, but
Yeah, Steph
even
Curry.
Steph Curry. So I mean, it's just like I don't know, man. I think because Philly's, they say Philly's the tough time to play.
Yeah,
So I
it
think
is.
something happened to him mentally where he just can't.
Well, yeah, no, something happened to him mentally. A a lot of people kind of force him to shoot. They were making fun of him, right, for that. I think you're right about one
I don't
thing.
want to force you to shoot, dog. When you have a dunk, we're looking for you to go ahead.
That's in your that's in your head. Like he
Nah.
didn't. Yeah, I mean, I think we're talking about the time when he had Trey Young under the basket in the playoffs, and he decided to pass it. Trey Young's like 6'0". He's
I might
6'10".
as well be Trey Young. I might as well be playing. I might as well just like strap up some Trey
I
Young.
don't know if you've seen.
Yeah.
Have you seen RDC One World? This guy's name's Mike Stevens. I'm sure you've seen it. I have to send you the video, but
I probably see.
it's so funny. Like like it's
You talking about RDC World?
yeah, RDC One World. RDC One World is what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he makes a video about it, and it's fucking hilarious. But look, my thing is this. I think you can change the way you play. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to be Steph Curry good at shooting, right? That's not going to happen, right? Steph Curry's been good at shooting for a long time, but you can get better at it. It can be the point to where it's not a liability, right? Like LeBron James, right? His case didn't have outside shot, right? Now he's a better shooter. He's actually shooting more threes now with LA, right? He's actually scoring 29 points a game, right?
Yes. Yes.
The highest point total, right? You can change. There's a time where LeBron James wasn't good with his back against the back to the paint, back to the rim, right? Got way better at that, right? So
those are skills, right?
You can change. You can get better.
You can get better as a player. You can acquire new skills as a player, but it's like who you are. The way you play the game is the way you play the game. Even though LeBron is like working on these new skills, new ways to score the ball and do the stuff, guess what he is first and foremost? Passer, facilitator.
Yeah,
right?
well, this is fine, which is fine.
Russell Westbrook, at the end of the day, is an amazing athlete who plays like just super hard and rough. And it's just like I'm not sure he can get past that. Even Shaq is in the there's a clip of Shaq watching him play. He was like, "Dude, slow it down. You're playing too fucking fast.
Yeah,
slow it the fuck down." Like he's on the floor seat, like and Russ is like dribbling by him or whatever, standing near him. He's like, "Dude, play too fucking fast."
Yeah.
But he's got to get out of his own way. If you can't do that, which I'm not sure you can, I don't think you could change like who you are at your core. This is a dude that just takes it to the max every night. But you know,
yeah, okay.
Might be about that time.
Damn. Right here on the Target podcast.
I'm trying to disrespect me. I'm just saying.
Nicholas is calling Russell Westbrook washed up.
His play is calling him washed up. I'm not calling him washed up. His play is saying he's washed up.
Yeah, we've been at this for an hour. Let's talk one last thing. Let's talk about Tom Brady's unretirement because we just happened.
Let me tell you something, man.
Like an hour ago, like right before we started this podcast, it's like, oh, he's unretired. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
As a diehard fan of the Philadelphia Eagles, my dislike for Tom Brady is extreme. Right, this dude beat us in the Super Bowl once. We beat him. Watching him say he was retired was one of the best days ever.
And he took it away from you. He took it back.
And now he's like, "Oh, I've got unfinished business. I'm back, bro. Stay retired. Don't be Ali.
Yank the rug under you.
Don't be one of these guys, dog. Don't be one of these boxers."
He had one of the best seasons in his career last year.
Oh, I know. Oh, they do anything to protect Tom Brady.
Yeah,
believe me.
They had some. He had some of the best. He had one of the best seasons in like last year. A lot of people, a lot of older people, when they retire, I mean, when they try to force that last year, they don't go out on top, right?
I wanted to break something. I'm not even gonna lie. I wanted to break something.
Yeah,
Cause I'm just
like
like, bro, just let it go. It's over.
it's truly amazing too because he has a beautiful wife with Giselle Bunskin and a beautiful family, right?
Didn't have anything to do with it. Didn't have anything to do with it. I mean, well,
I mean,
I think
clearly
part
not.
of it,
He's
I'm
not
sure part of his
retiring to
retiring
spend more time with them,
was to spend time
right?
more with
So
the family. But I mean, you know, and you know,
he's not
so
retiring
it's
anymore,
probably
right?
hard to give it up. It's hard to give it up, but he should.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's funny. It's hard. It hasn't really sunk in yet, like that he's back, and it's like,
And you know what's funny? So today he retires, and he said something about Tampa Bay in his post. I've been reading and watching some things saying that he was going to go to San Francisco,
yeah,
right?
the Niners. Oh, because Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy G is ass. I mean, let's be honest, right? He gets you through the. It seems like he can get you through the regular
Regular
season,
season.
okay, but in big games, boy,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
want.
true.
I
That's
don't
true.
want.
That's true, man. Yeah, no, that's pretty interesting. We'll see where this goes. No, he's gonna play with Tampa Bay. I'm wondering what Tampa Bay is gonna do to try to run it back. Um,
I don't think you have to do anything. Man said I'm coming back to Tampa Bay.
well, I mean, Antonio Brown isn't gonna come back for Tampa Bay, right?
Good.
So
He need to stay
yeah,
retired too. He need to
Antonio
stay
Brown.
retired. He he talking about who did he say he was going to come back for? Dallas? I
Go
think he
for it.
said Dallas.
Go for it. Go for it.
It's like, oh yeah, part of me was like, yeah, go
That's gonna
ahead,
be a
ruin that
fucking
team,
mess.
please.
That is
Ruin
gonna
that
be
team,
a mess.
please. I was like, dude, just stay retired, dog. You not, you ain't cut out for it, clearly. And that's not to say he's a bad player, but something about him as a teammate, this dude is just a distraction.
How about as a person?
Leave,
Right?
leave.
As a person, right? He has some shit he needs to work out on. Um, yeah, no, it's we'll see how this works. Yeah, he probably retired just to kind of fuck with Ben. What's the guy, Big Ben, in Pittsburgh?
Oh, I was glad Big Ben retired. There's another one that needed to retire. This brother, it's like Big Ben. Watching him play, he really was Big Ben. This dude was like the old clock tower. Like this dude could not move worth a damn. Just
Well, he's a big guy, so like his whole thing was hard to bring him down. But now he's older, slower, not as
no,
hard to
he
bring
been
down
so
anymore.
beat up. Like if you ask him to take more than 5 steps, you better call up your second stringer. Like, no, bro. No.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah, these
Ah,
guys gotta let it go. Especially
yeah.
when, so like Big Ben needs to let it go just because he's older, it's time for him to retire. Same thing with Tom Brady. I mean, let's be honest, man. It's time for you to go. I'm glad you had a great season, not really. But I mean, you did all right? Get out. Leave. Peace out. Guys like Antonio Brown, you're a distraction, man. I hate to say it. You know what I mean? I hate to say something negative about you like that, but I mean, after the Steelers, you went to the Raiders. That was a waste of time. Then you come over to the Bucks. That's a waste of time. I mean, it's over. It's
Well, he
over.
won a championship with the Bucks, right?
What's that?
He won a championship with the Bucks. So not a
I
waste of
mean,
time.
he didn't have no stellar season though. He
Yeah.
not like he was out here putting up numbers,
Hmm.
right?
Fair enough.
He just a name out there now. Oh shit, Antonio Brown. I know what he can do. Is he gonna do it? No, probably not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hmm. Absolutely. No. Okay. Well, I think ready to call it. I think we should be ready to call it.
Yeah, ready to call it.
Let's,
Ready to
let's, let's,
call it.
let's call it. Let's call it. No, no, it's been good. It's been good, right? So
Yeah,
it was a good talk. it's good to kind of just shoot the shit, and like I usually have like a bunch of notes, kind of like trying to get through my notes and like
Oh, good, yeah.
to
I
talk
think
to us.
maybe in 2 weeks, maybe we'll have some uh an in-person joint, maybe, you know what I mean? At that cookout we were talking about. I'll bring the camera. I'll bring the
You
camera.
what?
I'll bring the camera at the
Okay.
cookout and see if we can
Oh
have a
yeah,
live
yeah. We
session.
talked about this. We
Yeah,
talked about this. Yeah. Actually, I was at a happy hour on Thursday, and it was like the first happy hour that I've been to in like 2 years. So for my
yeah.
new team that I'm going on, right? They had a happy hour, and like it was just so weird because I hadn't met any of these guys, right? Like like I interviewed with two of them. Like so to be fair, I knew like the senior director because me and her like she was my senior manager or manager when I worked at like a different consulting company, and she's always been good to me. So she's cool. But I didn't know any of these guys. I think I interviewed with like two of them, right? One of them's gonna like be like my peer, and it's like I'm like, yeah, this isn't awkward. This isn't that awkward. And he goes, no, this is awkward. Like let me let you know this is awkward right now. Because
Yeah,
no
let's
one
talk
like
about
really
these. Go
huh?
ahead, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, yeah, but like cause no one's really like seeing each other. So we was in uh I forgot what it's called. Not Penn Social, but Punch Bowl Social. It's in Arlington. And then we went to have like some dinner. Had a nice little fillet steak. So um, it's on the more medium rare type. So yeah,
Sounds good.
loved it. Oh,
Sounds
cool.
good. He's over here feeling good about that. And let's talk about these gas prices. Can we talk about that real quick? Because I don't want to go anywhere.
Yeah, we're not shutting
I
it
don't want
down.
to go anywhere right now. Okay, I have a 5 Series BMW that require premium gas, and uh,
Our buddy owns a Tesla, right? And he posted like a meme with like this like stuck up, the classic meme of like these stuck up people like looking down on everyone else. So like he owns a Tesla.
bruh,
Another
like
he also just bought a Range Rover.
it's like, which side are you on? Are you for the environment or
Range
against it?
Rover.
I don't get it. Like you buy a Tesla, and you go buy like a 2 mile per gallon Range Rover. Like, bro, like,
He just bought a Range Rover. I'm like, Jesus.
but
This guy.
I think about the gas thing because it's like so I work remotely, right? And this made me that's the other thing about working remotely. It makes you so lazy.
Yeah,
I don't want to do anything. I don't want to go anywhere, right?
that's true.
So somebody on the team, and this made me want to come to the phone and just smack somebody. Somebody on the team was like, I think we should come into the office and have a working session every couple of weeks. So what for? What the hell for?
Shut the fuck up.
Right? And then somebody else chimes in like, oh, we create a team bonding experience. Yeah. I was like, fam, do you know how much gas is right now? Office is like an hour away, fam. I'm not
Yeah.
turn on your camera. You want to see me? Turn on your camera. Turn on your camera. I was like, come on,
That's so
man.
funny.
I was like, so what are we? It's a meeting? We doing it? No. We just want to work for the office together. What? Why? It's just cause.
Yeah. No, what's so funny? So because they're all over the place, and no one wants to really go in the office. Like my senior director that I was talking about. I mean, she goes in like once, and she's very introverted like me, and she's like, she went in the office. Like she told me that she went in the office on a Thursday. She had like one working session. She's like, I hated it, hated it. So I actually might go to the office. I don't mind going to the office like maybe once a week, like once a week.
So I mean, if they put out a policy, yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
think I'm pretty much over going to work every day. I'm done
yeah,
with that, right?
No, I don't blame you.
Uh, if they push, if they really push for it, I mean, I'll go. I mean, I'm a team player, obviously, but like, I'll go kicking and screaming. Right? I'll be just really, I'll give you 2 days a week, you know. But
Yeah.
it's just a situation right
No, I can do probably one or two, right? But this is the new normal, right?
now. Yeah,
I
I'm not
definitely,
going in
I
just so
definitely,
you can see my face. I'm working.
exactly. It really does show the people who need to go versus the people who don't, right? Like because we're more effective at working from home. Like we just talked about how we work longer at home, which is actually gonna be a bad
Work
thing.
more
Yeah.
at home.
Um, and um, so yeah, so there's that aspect, but yeah, just some people just have the need to just want to work from the office, which that's their prerogative. That's their prerogative. Um,
I mean, that's your president talking about. We need to get everybody back in the office. Just work.
which
Like, bro, we've
president?
been
Mike,
working for the last 2 years, man. Yes.
did he say
Yes.
fuck this
Yes, he
guy?
did.
This fucking guy.
That was one of his things. That's what I was saying. Like when I watched the State of the Union, he made some great points, right? But then there were some points where he it just came across. They were just super general. We ought to beat cancer. We've been trying, right? And we need to get back in the office and work. Nobody wants to do that.
Get him on
uh,
stage.
there's this thing called the internet, and
Yeah, I
cameras
mean, this is
and
coming from like the oldest president of all time. So of course he thinks that way. I
bro,
mean,
no.
look, like I'm happy he's like leading with like he's in charge like with like what's happening with you know Ukraine and Russia right now. He did make a comment saying like there's not going to be a World War III or whatever, or the World War III is not going to be fought in Ukraine. It's pretty close about that like right now if you think about it.
Some scary times, man.
It is. And lastly, he made that definitive statement saying it's not going to be World War III in Ukraine, but he also made a statement saying the Taliban won't take over Afghanistan when the United States leaves, and that didn't turn out to be true. So,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. Some interesting times. Interesting times.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, uh, we call it again this time.
For the second time,
For the
ladies and
second
gentlemen,
time. For the
this
second
has
time. We gotta
been
work tomorrow.
episode 54 of the Targeted Podcast.
Wait, what?
This has been episode 54, right?
55.
55. Wow.
Yeah.
This has been
I'm surprised
episode
I got
55.
it right, then you didn't this time for once. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.
And you can come back on and catch us on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple, etc. etc., etc. Facebook,
Yeah.
YouTube. You know what to do. Hit the
Yeah.
subscribe.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you guys for watching. Watch us some more. Support. Really appreciate your time. Thank you guys.